we're there. Welcome to Tucson's village of fourth trimester, Arizona. My name is Eileen, and I will be introducing you to our speaker. I want to encourage you to put any comments or questions either underneath in Facebook, or if you'd like to email us off of Facebook or join us on Zoom, it's never too late. Okay. Our speaker today, I'm so excited and so pleased that Barb could join us. Barb has over almost 40 years of experience working with young children. And this is the most exciting part to me. She's a mom of 4, a grandma to 9 with 1 more on the way, and a great grandma to 2 with 1 more on the way. That just is mind-boggling. So I would say she's got experience, to say the least. She's managed childcare programs. She's worked in Head Start. She's done assessments of childcare programs and home care programs. She's worked with the Arizona's quality rating system, and she has facilitated workshops and trainings for families throughout the course of her career. Barb joined Birth to Five Helpline, which she'll tell you a little bit more about, earlier this year, to support the families and professionals. And she has a bachelor's in human services, sorry, and a master's in early childhood education. So Barb, you bring us such a wealth of information. And when Barb said to me, we could do something on mindfulness, and then she said mindful or mindfulness, I thought, oh, that's so true. We are all so full of everything, especially, once the end of October came around, people just start, it's like the Fred Flintstone car. You're just trying to go and go and go. So I'm really happy that you're all here, and I appreciate your time. So Barb, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. And if you need anything from us, just let me know.
I will. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We're in hump day, right? And the day before a big holiday tomorrow. I'm really excited to be able to join you guys today and share a moment of calm during the busy time of year. We're about to march right into all those holidays. So I'm guessing that some of us are preparing for feasts tomorrow, or whether that's cooking, or we're just getting ready to go to somewhere else and gonna stuff ourselves tomorrow. Are you feeling stressed? Yep, probably a lot of us are feeling stressed. We have a lot on our plates. And so I'm really glad to be able to spend the next bit of time with you talking about mindfulness, and I'll show you our little agenda, but I do have a question. You don't need to answer it. I just want you to ponder it right now, because we're actually going to come back and visit it again towards the end of this. But are you expecting a lot from yourself? So this is what I set forth for us to do this morning. I want to talk a little bit about mindfulness, define it. What is it? Why it's such an important practice, and why we should try to include it in our daily lives. I'm actually going to take you through a mindfulness journey, probably about 10 minutes or so. We'll see how the flow goes. And then we're going to talk a little bit about putting it into practice. And I always say, experience it. That's the biggest piece about putting it into practice. And we'll talk more about that. And then most important, I want to spend a little bit of time about talking, how do we share mindfulness with our children? How do we bring this practice to children, and why it's important for children to also begin to practice mindfulness. I have a couple of little short videos. I'm going to kind of bounce back and forth. So I'm going to ask up front for a little bit of grace through the technology. I will put some links in the chat at some point. And so again, a little bit of grace. We've gotten pretty good with Zoom over the past almost 2 years now, but every once in a while we still have glitches, as you all know. So what do you see? And feel free to unmute yourself. But I'm just curious, what does this graphic show you, tell you, bring to mind? Anybody want to share? I love this graphic because it really clearly shows the biggest difference between a typical adult and a typical child. And what do we notice? For typically developing children, they have the amazing capacity of being able to be present in the moment, of being aware of the here and now, which is something that we tend to lose as we become adults because, as the graphic shows us, life gets in the way. And as adults, we tend to lose the ability to be present, to have that empty bubble thought. And so when we think about mindfulness, it's mindful or mindful. Mindfulness, we know, has been around for eons, a really, really, really long time. We can probably date it back to about 2,500 years ago with Hindu and Buddhist origins. There's a ton of individuals that can be credited for bringing mindfulness to the forefront, to the public, general public. And as someone said earlier, it's kind of like the buzzword. It's everybody's talking about mindfulness now. And so it's kind of there and forward and has become much more prevalent since the pandemic started. There's a gentleman whose name is John Kabat-Zinn, and back in the 70s, he was a practicing person with mindfulness and Buddhism, but he decided to take the Buddhism piece out of mindfulness, out of the practice, and he began the meditative approach to mindfulness. And so he's really credited with developing mindfulness-based stress reduction and really concentrating on how it does tend to reduce stress for us. Whoops. There are lots of individuals, like I said, that are doing things on mindfulness. All you have to do is Google the word mindfulness, and up is going to pop hundreds and hundreds of different sites that you can go into and find different activities to do, different information about it. It's really prevalent today. So why? How? Mindfulness is really about being in the moment. And according to the Center for Change, mindfulness practices can help us to increase our ability to regulate emotions, decrease stress, anxiety, and depression. It can also help us to focus our attention as well as observe our thoughts and our feelings without judgment. It's really about our overall health and improving our overall health. And the other nice benefit of mindfulness is that it also can improve relationships because what happens is once you really begin to practice mindfulness, it allows for reflective thought and it increases what we value. It also helps us to be able to step back in the moment and not be so reactive. And it's not an easy thing to do, that's for sure. And the cool thing is that there's now some studies being done about mindfulness and the impact that it can make in young children. And we'll talk more, obviously, about how mindfulness works with children later on. Again, it's not something that just happens. It really does take a lot of practice and more practice. The art of really truly being present and in the moment, it isn't an easy thing to do. But most important is to remember that your mindfulness journey is your mindfulness journey. And so what we want to do is we want to try to be non-judgmental with ourselves. We want to allow ourselves the grace of coming in and out of a mindfulness moment. Our brains are busy, they're full. There's so much going on around us. It's not easy to just shut it all down, right? We can think that we're going to go and just take a couple of minutes by ourselves. Traditionally, right, we want to go to the potty. And what happens when we go to the potty and we shut the door? We've got the kids screaming, we've got the dogs coming, we've got the cats and birds and whoever else. It's really hard for us as women to really be able to shut it off and be able to be in that moment. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to take us through a guided mindful journey. And again, giving yourself grace and being non-judgmental, I want you to try to stay focused and in the moment. We know that everything that's happening, everything that's around us, it's all going to still be there when we're done with our journey. And so, and remembering that everything can be put aside for just a couple of minutes. Once we're done with mindfulness, then we're in a better space, as I hope that you will find yourself after this, and then we can go back to what's happening all around us. So what I'd like you to do is just take a few minutes to kind of find yourself a comfortable position. There's no wrong or right way in terms of what the positioning is, how mindfulness happens. It's an individual practice. A lot of experts in mindfulness will say that if it's possible, it's good to have your feet on the ground, because what that does is it grounds us into the earth. And by being grounded, it helps us to kind of touch base with the earth, to bring the energy from the earth into our bodies. I'm going to stop sharing the screen in a minute. I'm going to bring up some music. I'm going to bring up a picture. Well, it's kind of a moving picture, if you will. You are happy to watch the water, close your eyes, whatever it is that's most comfortable for you. This is your moment. This is no one else's moment. This is your moment. So what I'd like you to do is just take a couple of seconds. And like I said, grace, I ask for grace. Let's see. I'm going to bring up some music. And I'm going to share the screen with you. So while we're getting ready to do this, just take a couple of deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. Get yourself comfortable. Hopefully you can hear the music. Make sure if you have your phone near you that it's turned to silent. Try to shut out any distractions around And let's just take a couple more deep breaths. Breathing in through our nose and gently pushing all the air out through our mouth. These current times that we're in, there's a lot of uncertainty. Both us as adults and children really are experiencing high levels of anxiety. And so now, more than ever, having healthy coping skills is so necessary. It really will help us to self-regulate. And this is why I got into mindfulness myself. And I can share a little bit more about my journey in a little bit into mindfulness. So again, adjust your body. Move yourself around. Get yourself comfortable. Take a couple of more deep breaths. And allow any of those thoughts to enter into your mind and just focus on gently pushing them away. Really bringing yourself back to the present, to the moment. If you're watching the water, listening to the music, focus in on that. Another body check. Is it comfortable? Do you need to readjust your legs or your arms? Continue to find that really comfortable position. Breathing is a huge part of mindfulness. Breathing helps to cleanse the mind, it helps to cleanse the lungs, and it really helps to bring calm to the body. So breathing in through our nose, breathe out through your mouth. And as you breathe in, try to breathe in as much air as you possibly can take. Hold it for just a moment. And then attempt to push every bit of that air out of your lungs, pushing and pushing. And do that again another time or two. Slowly bring your awareness back to your natural breath. Feel how your body is feeling. Feel how your lungs fill with oxygen and how they feel as you breathe that air out. And as you begin to focus on your breath and your natural breathing, your mind should begin to slow down, which then helps to slowly relax the body. Thoughts are going to come and go. Don't stop them. Just let them be there. Slowly focus on your breath and push those thoughts away. Bring your awareness to your body again. Start with our toes and our feet, our ankles. Do you notice any tension? Maybe wiggle them. Move your ankles around. Coming up through your calves, your knees, and into your thighs. We tend to feel a lot of stress around our lower back, our buttock area where the sciatica nerve lives. If you're feeling tense, focus on that tension and bring a breath to it. Breathe in and then breathe out. Come up through the rest of your body. Come up through the rest of your back, your spine. Moving to the front, thinking about your digestive system, your stomach, up through the upper torso, into your shoulders. Another area that we tend to carry a lot of stress and tension. So move your shoulders a little bit. Bring your focus to that tension. And again, bring a breath to it, or two, until it begins to relax. Come down your arms, down into your wrists, your hands, your fingers. And then just take a mental scan of your whole body again. And if there is still an area that's feeling a little tense, put your focus to it. Bring a couple of good breaths to it. Think about giving yourself a hug. Imagine your arms wrapping all the way around you as you hug yourself, as you feel that self-love. And once you've given yourself a big hug, allow your body to return to its loose, calm position. Think kindly about yourself and allow yourself to be re-energized. There's no wrong, there's no right way to become mindful. This is your journey. Caring for yourself is essential for your happiness and overall wellness. Give yourself credit. You're here right now, in this moment. You're allowing your body to de-stress. You're allowing your mind to let go. You're allowing yourself to be present in the moment. Feel these affirmations. I am choosing peace. I am comfortable. I'm at ease right now, and I am confident in me. Every day, I can activate every quality I need to be in order to be for the day. I am ready. I'm going to count to 3, and as you hear me count, slowly begin to take some more breaths and begin to become present with the group once again. 1, slowly breathe in and out. 2, hear the noises around you. And 3, take another deep breath and bring yourself back into the present. See if I can. How was that?
Amazing.
Yeah, really beautiful. Thank you.
Say what?
Oh, it was really beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to share before we go on?
That's okay. You're just sharing within yourself. Again, this is a personal journey. I love this quote. One, I love Simone Biles, and she's a fantastic gymnast, but I love this quote that she says about practicing creates confidence, and confidence empowers you. And really, when you think about mindfulness, it's really about practicing, and it's about empowering ourselves to seize the moment, to bring it into our daily routine. And the more and more you do it, again, the more better you get at it. How do you put it into practice? Oh my gosh, when this is what our days look like, right? Those that are doing a lot of research right now around the benefits of mindfulness have found that if you can just dedicate 5 minutes a day, it's enough to be able to clear your mind, improve your mood, boost brain function, reduce stress, slow down the aging process, and really support a healthier metabolism. And some days when you do it, your mind is going to wander more than other days. Sometimes you might only get a minute or 2 of pause, and other days you'll be successful where you might be able to do this for a longer period of time. What we just did was about 12 minutes. If you can figure out how to put a longer period of time, say 15 minutes into your day, the benefits will only increase. And it also does not matter what time of day that you do it. For some of us, we're early risers, and having those few minutes at the beginning of the day before anyone's up. Sometimes it's at midday when the kids are napping. And I know the laundry's there and the dishes are in the sink and the vacuuming needs to be done and whatever else has to happen. But if you can just pull your weight for 5 minutes, or at the end of the day, when you finally hit the bed and you're laying there and you can just, you can do a quick mindfulness. It's really, as I wrote in the agenda, it's about experiencing it. That is what is most beneficial. So how do you fit it into your busy day? Intention. I think intention is a lot. We have to figure out, up to us, where can I fit it in my day? And again, it can be at any time. It's just about making the commitment to yourself that you're going to do it. And at the same time, giving yourself grace. When it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Tomorrow is a new day, and I can try to make it happen tomorrow. What will happen over time is that your body and your mind actually will begin to crave it, and you will kind of be like, oh my gosh, okay, I know that at this particular moment in time, I'm going to be able to just walk away for a few minutes, and I'm going to be able to take a mindfulness moment. It'll become your protected time. So my mindfulness journey started a few years ago, actually, and I'm really glad that it did, because when the pandemic hit and we were told, oh, you're working from home, and I was like, what? Working from home? No. I have to go to the office and work. I can't work from home. It really helped to be able to go back into this mindfulness journey, bring it back forward for me, and remember that, wow, it really is beneficial. And I still struggle. I've been doing it for probably 3 or 4 years now, and I still have moments where I struggle, where there's so much going on. I sit down and I think, okay, this is it. I'm just going to stare off into space. I'm not going to think about anything. And those thoughts keep coming into the brain. But again, if you can figure out 5, 10, 15 minutes to do it, it's so beneficial, and it really does become habit. So if you can just get yourself comfortable, sometimes people like to have lavender or a candle or something to have that sensory. For some people, that's good. Clipping your hair out of your face, lip balm, because sometimes as we become to get present in the moment, we figure, oh, my lips are feeling dry, or oh, my fingers are feeling dry. And so what we've done is we've come out of that moment and into, whoa, wait a second, let's let all that go. Technology runs us, it owns us. And so if we can turn off technology for just a couple of minutes, it's really amazing. And then using music. I use music today. Sometimes in my own practice, I will put a set of headphones on, or I'll turn my phone on to, there's a wonderful app called Calm. There's so many apps that you can get that will play some music. And you can just have that on. Sometimes I just sit outside. And I listen to what the nature is happening, the dogs barking, the trash truck. But it becomes a calming moment. And so even who we all love and know, Fred Rogers, says it's a gift. It's a gift to give to yourself. If we can just turn off all the noises around us and in our head and find some quiet time, and in that silence, we think about ourselves, or if possible, and sometimes you can get there, think about nothing. Focus on you. So at the beginning, I asked you a question. I said to ponder it. We'd come back around to it. What are you expecting from yourself? If you're like me, and most of us women are pretty typical, we're expecting a lot from ourselves, right? And we have to be in control of everything, right? For a lot of us. I laugh because I've got kids here for Thanksgiving. I've got grandkids on the way. And this is the very first Thanksgiving that I decided there are a lot of things that are not in my control, and I'm going to let go. I have a potluck. I've got people actually bringing things. I'm letting it go. If the mashed potatoes aren't exactly how I would fix them, it's okay. If the green beans are not exactly how I would fix them, it's okay. Problem solve those things that are within our control, and being able to recognize that, you know what, it's okay. We can let it not be in our control. Really help to being able to cope with, ooh, okay. And regular mindfulness can really help us let go and control only what is in our control. Again, there's no right or wrong answers. It's just the way you're going to do it. I am going to attempt, so I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. And I am going to attempt to put a couple of things in the chat. So just take a couple of moments and bear with me here just a moment.
Sure.
I'm going to put a link in the chat for something that comes from the University of Buffalo, the School of Social Work. It's a self-assessment. It's a self-care assessment. I'm not going to ask you to do it now. This is something that you will do on your own. You can just take it. It has some really great questions to ponder, things to think about. Also, they have a wonderful self-care worksheet that you can do after you take the self-assessment. And again, this isn't something that we would share with people. It's for our own exercise. But I like to give people tools to use when you're thinking about your own journey and what do you expect from yourself, and how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna bring it into practice? Thanks for bearing with me as we march through all the technology here. Teaching children mindfulness. What do you notice about the two photographs that are on the screen? Nature. Children are naturally drawn to the outdoors, and what better place than to teach them mindfulness out in nature? There are some wonderful, wonderful resources, some wonderful books. Sitting Still Like a Frog is one of my favorite. The book was actually developed for children 5 to 12 years old, but the exercises within it are super, super simple to take and share them with younger children. You can adapt them to any age children. Just like adults, we know that mindfulness can help children reduce anxiety. It improves concentration, helps them with learning, how to handle those difficult and big emotions that they have to experience. So mindfulness is just as good practice, just as healthy for young children. Who doesn't want better sleep with their kids? If you can include a mindfulness practice in your bedtime ritual, it really does help to quiet their mind, to relax their body, to enhance their sleep. You can play yoga music or meditation music. Again, there are plenty of apps. You can go on YouTube. There are lots of guided journeys for children. You can walk them through. Do what we just did, starting with your toes, focusing in on your feet, on your ankles, up to your calves. And with practice, they can begin to do that themselves as well. And it really does help with sleep. There's a wonderful woman by the name of Dr. Becky Bailey. She created a wonderful program called Conscious Discipline. And with Conscious Discipline, her whole focus is that as the adult, we need to self-regulate ourselves before we can help children to self-regulate. And so I want to share with you a really quick video of her doing the star breath. So she has these breaths that she does, these different breaths. You have star, drain, balloon, and pretzel. The star breath is, it's super simple to do, but I'm going to let you meet her, and she's going to take us through. She is going to take us through how to do the star breath. And I really want to give you this because this is such a simple activity that you can do with your children starting today. So let me get it going.
Conscious Discipline is a comprehensive self-regulation program that involves many things, but one of them is belly breathing, and we call it being a star. Star means smile, take a deep breath, and relax. In being a star, there's some important things to remember. First, you're breathing from your belly, so it's not shallow breathing from your chest. It's from your belly. So I encourage you to practice this with actually having your hand on your belly, and you're going to smile, which just starts to relax the muscles in your face. Once you relax your jaw, your internal state automatically starts shifting. Take a deep breath. Your belly's going to go out. And relax. Have your belly go in. If you notice what I just did, my exhale was longer than my inhale. The focus is on the exhale. When we breathe in, we take in the beauty of life. When we exhale, we let go of that which is no longer needed, the bitterness, the resentfulness we carry around, and the harshness of the morning, allowing us each moment to take in a new perspective and a new outlook on life. If you're not breathing deeply from your belly, you're breathing from your shoulders generally. It looks like this. A deep breath would look... That's a bull ready to fight, not a belly relaxing a body. Also, we breathe very shallowly. You can't even see any movement. And so it's from the chest and just barely movement here. Going. Shallow breathing is a sign, as it continues to be more shallow, a sign of depression. So how would we teach this to children with special needs? How would we teach this to 2-year-olds or toddlers? First, we can use our new star breathing tool. So you have the children smell the flower. We want them to breathe through their nose, so often we will touch their nose and say, smell the flower. So they would touch their nose, they go, and then they exhale and blow out the pinwheel through their mouth. This allows them to exhale longer, which will automatically make the inhale longer the next time, causing more movement in the belly. Each Tuesday in our staff meeting.
So I wanted to share that with you because it's just a really great exercise and easy to teach children. The drain breath is another super simple thing. What you do is you take your arms and you put them out and you clench your fists, okay? And then we breathe in, and as we breathe out, we let our arms go down. So clench your fists, breathe in. We're letting the water out, and we let our arms relax. Balloon breath, interlock your fingers on top of your head. You're going to breathe in. We're going to blow our balloon up. Or as some children love to do, breathe in. Right, the sound of the balloon. And the pretzel breath can be a little bit complicated for younger children, but basically what you're doing is you're interlocking your fingers and putting your palms together, interlocking your fingers, you're bringing it back through. Always important to put the thumb on your chin because that helps to bring awareness. And then you take some deep breaths in and some deep breaths out. And for little ones, they can just cross. It's really important because what we do is with brain development, we're crossing that midline. So really good for brain development. So just a couple of quick breaths that you can learn. Becky Bailey is available on the web. You can look up Becky Bailey or Conscious Discipline. She has a ton of free resources for parents. So as we bring mindfulness to children and we begin to share with them the activities, do it together. It's really important to do it together. Because when they see you, they're modeling what you're doing, they begin the practice themselves. And so I am going to show you proof of this. And this is something that's on YouTube, but I want to share with you that I have seen this in practice, in group settings with young children that have been taught mindfulness. It's amazing.
Leave. Okay. See, that's a confidence.
So what's happening in that video is that his little brother is upset because the battery in the controller for their Nintendo, their Xbox, is out. And so it's not playing. And so he's really upset about it. And his bigger brother is helping him with those breaths. Calm down. And then he says to him, see, it's okay. It's okay. So really practicing and sharing this practice with children it's so valuable. And it's practice for us because then it becomes this family thing. So self-care is not about self-indulgence. It's about self-preservation. It's about doing for ourselves, which is really hard as women. Again, we give, and we forget to take in. And research shows that mindfulness activities are really, really important on mental health. There's a few other exercises that you can do with children. Again, nature-based, going outside, giving them a few nature type objects to hold and just become present in the moment and have them talk about what they feel, what they see, and have them describe, help them to describe, but give them the chance to talk. The scene game, have them be outside or in the room and just look around and see if there's anything in the room that they haven't noticed in a long time. Or you can put something interesting in the space and see if they find it with their attention. And I can share all these. I'll get all these to Jenny and Eileen, and we can share it. These ocean breathing, love, and some kids have never been to the ocean, so they don't even know what the ocean sounds like. You can pull up the ocean off the internet and be able to hear what it is. But really, ocean breathing is just about bringing some breath in and then making a noise as you're letting breath out, so that it sounds like the crashing waves at the beach. And then the power of listening. So important, and for children to learn the skill of really listening to what's going on. And again, it's just about being aware, being in the moment, and helping them to be in that moment, to hear and to see and to experience what it is. So let's see, can I get to the top here? Yep. What I'm going to share with you now is I'm going to share with you just a quick little few minutes about Southwest and about the Birth to Helpline. I hope the mindfulness was helpful. There's so much more. I could do 3 hours on mindfulness, but we want to be respectful of your time. Again, I work with Southwest Human Development. We're a nonprofit agency up in the Phoenix area. I actually live in Chandler. And we are Arizona's largest nonprofit agency that's dedicated to children birth to 5. We have about 40 programs that focus in on child development, mental health, early Head Start, family support. And the program that I work specifically for is the Birth to 5 Helpline. This is a free service for you as parents, as professionals. We are not a medical helpline. We get a lot of medical calls, and so we explain that we can't answer medical questions. But like this morning, I took a call this morning from a mom who has a 3-month-old who is beginning to experience colic. And so I said to her, has anybody talked to you about colic? And she said, well, I've heard of that. So we talked through what colic is and gave her some strategies to help her little one with colic. But I'm not medical. And I told her, I said, you need to go back to your doctor as well, because we want to make sure that there isn't anything digestively happening. So we're here to answer all kinds of questions. Our title is Birth to 5 Helpline, but we get calls from people about children that are over the age of 5, and that's okay. We will never hang up on someone. We'll figure it out together. All of us have child development, early childhood backgrounds, mental health backgrounds. And then another cool part that we do is our Fussy Baby program. And for families that have children that are 1 year and less, so birth to 1 year, we actually can either come visit you if you're in Maricopa, we can Zoom if you're somewhere else, and we can provide some face-to-face time with you and the baby, talk through questions that you have, challenges that you might be experiencing. So that's just a free resource and part of the helpline. There's an app. There's an app for everything, right? There's an app for the helpline. You can text us, you can email us, you can call us. We're here for you. We work Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. So we're available to help everyone. If you're a professional and you would like some resources to share with the families that you're working with, we have rack cards and magnets. Some of you may be familiar with the little magnet. You get it usually from the hospital in your parent kit. I do want to share that for the holidays, Southwest Human Development does close between the Christmas and New Year's holiday, but you can still leave them a voicemail or a text and we will respond as soon as we come back. So with that, that was a lot in a very short amount of time. My hope to you, my gift to you is that I gave you a little bit of Zen, a little bit of mindfulness. And with that, I'm open to questions, thoughts, comments.
Well, Barb, I want to just say to you, you bring such a wealth of knowledge to us, and the resources that you gave us. There are so many different ones. I'm thinking in terms of, there was one to listen to, there was one to look at, there was one to feel. And for children with different types of learning styles, that's really, really helpful. And we're getting some great comments in the chat that I loved all the breathing techniques, the star, the drain. I can use the drain. Maybe it would actually drain me, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really, really helpful.
Mhm. Even if you have special needs children that have developmental delays, it doesn't matter what the delay is. It doesn't matter where they are. You still can bring mindfulness to any child, to any person, even if it's just playing some soft yoga type, Zen-y type music in the background, because just that alone brings the senses, and it helps to bring awareness to the body and calmness. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, beautiful.
Any questions, any comments, any concerns, any additional resources or ways you want to share what we just went through with your families? No? Okay. Well, we have other villages, and if you're on Zoom, it's in the chat. If you're on Facebook, I want to kind of go through it for you. We are also on Twitter, Fourth Trimester AZ, and YouTube, and Instagram. And we have a traditional webpage with our events calendar. Our email is info@fourthtrimesteraz.org. Our villages are the first Wednesday, the second Wednesday, the third Thursday, and the fourth Wednesday. And those are, everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter where you live. You don't even have to live in Arizona, but we would really love for you to keep coming. And also, I want to open up to remind people, we're always looking for you to promote fourth trimester, but more importantly, you to present if you'd like. Our focus is really always on what can we bring to the mothers, and what can we bring to the mothers and fathers and caregivers that they can then share with their kids. So that's really our mission. Jenny, is there anything else you want to share?
So we do have a village happening next week, Wednesday, the 1st, I think it's the December 1st. Yeah. The first Wednesday of the month. And that one will be a little bit of holding space, a little bit of checking in. I feel like that's what we all need more of, more mindfulness, more, let's just talk with each other. And not try to learn so much. So we're going to be doing that next week. And then we also have a fourth trimester lunchtime conversation around the impact of COVID on child development, which I think one of your colleagues, actually, Barb, at Southwest Human Development, Birth to Five Helpline, will be speaking, as well as someone from Here's Family Partnership is going to speak as well. So I think that one's going to be really interesting, and that's on Friday, and that's really aimed at professionals. So yeah, if you're interested in taking part in that, it's not just to talk. Definitely, there's a lot of time for us to talk in those conversations as well. We usually have the speakers talk for about 15-20 minutes, and then we move to discussions on our own. So yeah, so those are mostly what I want to share. And I'm hoping that, just as I did, that you are all able to get a little bit of a break from today's gathering and a little bit more headspace to move forward. I know sometimes there's so much going on this time of year, we just get kind kind of caught up in the frenzy. So yeah, I'm hoping that you're also able to take a moment. Yeah, it was really beautiful. Thank you so much, Barb, for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm looking forward to in a couple days going back and listening to it again on Facebook
Mhm.
so that I can get recentered after Thursday. So remember that you guys can always do that. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to pop us off live and we can chat a little bit amongst ourselves, but bye, Facebook land.